You feel a slight tickle in your throat. Then comes a runny nose, weakness, a cough. You think it'll pass, but in a day or two the fever rises, muscle aches begin, your appetite disappears, and you can't get out of bed. For a young person, it's an unpleasant week in bed. For a senior, it's the risk of pneumonia, hospitalization, complications with the heart, kidneys, brain. Every virus after 60 is like playing roulette. One case of the flu could be the last. Especially if your immunity is weakened, you have chronic illnesses, you're often alone, and you miss early warning signs. In this video, 5 methods that have proven effective. They're simple, but they can save your health and even your life. Watch to the end, because a virus isn't random, it's a test of your defense, and if there's no defense, you become the target. Method 1. Strengthening physical immunity. As we age, the immune system weakens. The cells that are supposed to fight viruses become sluggish, fewer in number. The body responds to threats more slowly, but this isn't a sentence. Research shows physical activity is the key factor in restoring immune function. Walking, stretching, wall exercises, gentle yoga, breathing techniques, gardening, dancing to music, all of this improves circulation, activates the lymphatic system, and helps the body eliminate toxins faster. Even 20 minutes a day makes a difference. Breathing is especially important, deep, slow, through the nose. It oxygenates the blood and trains the diaphragm, improving lung ventilation. This is especially critical during virus season. Viruses love stagnation. Movement is their enemy. Method 2. Food as a shield. Immunity doesn't run on nothing. It's built from what you eat. Vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, these are the building blocks of your defense. As you age, absorption decreases, so your nutrition must become more precise. What to include? Warm vegetable soups, cabbage, broccoli, garlic, onion, spinach, turmeric, ginger, nuts, legumes, berries, fish, eggs, fermented dairy, soft cooked grains. What to avoid? Sugar, processed foods, fried meals, cold cuts, soda, alcohol, white bread. These weaken your gut flora, disrupt metabolism, and cause inflammation, and immunity suffers first. During virus season, warm water, herbal infusions, tea with lemon, ginger, turmeric, honey are especially important. Warmth from within helps keep mucous membranes moist, making it harder for viruses to enter. Food isn't just calories. It's a weapon or a shield. It depends on what you choose. Method 3. Warmth, humidity, ventilation. Viruses spread easily in dry air, especially in winter when heating is on and windows are shut tight. Dry mucous membranes are the first step toward infection. Room humidity should be 40–60%. This is easy to measure and maintain. A bowl of water near the heater, a humidifier, airing out the room 3–4 times a day for 5–10 minutes, especially in the morning and before sleep. Room temperature should not exceed 22 degrees Celsius. It's better to dress warmly than to live in heat. Overheated air dries the airways and leads to shallow breathing, which makes you vulnerable. Don't fear cold. Fear dryness and stagnation. Walks outside are better than sitting indoors. Fresh air, even if cool, cleans the lungs, strengthens blood vessels, lifts mood, and that too is protection. Method 4. Protection through daily rituals. As we age, it gets harder to build new habits, but rituals save us. When every morning starts with warm water and lemon, when every evening ends with a saline nose rinse, when you change clothes and wash hands after being outside, when before bed you air out the room and do breathing exercises. These are not small things. They are signals to the body. I care about you, and the body responds with resilience. Rituals create structure, and structure reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and supports immunity. Going to bed before 10:30 p.m. is especially important. That's when the body's repair systems activate. Immune cells work best at night. If you're asleep, they work. If you're awake, your defenses weaken. routine isn't punishment. It's a foundation for health. A good soldier doesn't sleep on guard. Neither should your body. Method 5. Emotions and loneliness as risk factors. Viruses enter weakened bodies, and one of the strongest blows to immunity is stress, anxiety, resentment, loneliness. You can eat well, walk daily, keep your home ventilated, but if you carry pain, fear, and emptiness inside, your defense collapses. Emotions directly affect hormones. Cortisol suppresses immune cells, which means chronic stress opens the door to illness. What helps? Seek out connection, even short moments. Watch uplifting movies, listen to favorite music, call a friend, write letters, pray. Remember good moments, laugh, hug. These are also forms of healing. Research shows lonely people get sick more often and recover more slowly. So managing emotions is a part of prevention. One smile can be stronger than a pill. One phone call, more powerful than a vitamin. Don't live in silence. Silence can destroy. Why viruses are more dangerous after 60 than in youth? The body ages. You can see it on the outside. Wrinkles, gray hair, fatigue. But inside, invisible changes are taking place. Immune cells are produced more slowly. Inflammation lasts longer. Mucous membranes become drier. Regeneration slows down. Even a simple runny nose that used to go away in 2 days can now last for weeks and lead to complications. An aging body holds on to a virus longer, which means it suffers longer and gets weaker. Secondary infections are especially dangerous. The flu can turn into pneumonia. A cold can cause bronchitis. A mild virus can trigger heart failure. After 60, no viral illness is harmless. Even mild symptoms can lead to serious problems. That's why prevention isn't a suggestion, it's a responsibility. A virus is not terrifying if you're prepared for it. How to know if your immune system is weak? There are signs often blamed on age, but they are signals that the body is struggling. Frequent colds, chronic fatigue, dry mucous membranes, poor sleep, sluggishness, headaches, low appetite, declining memory, all of these point to a weakened immune response. Another sign is a long recovery after illness. If you're sick for a week but feel weak for a month, that's not normal. It means your defense system didn't activate properly. Immunity can be restored, but not by one pill. You need a full system: movement, nutrition, rest, emotions, routine, and environment. A story: how one virus changed a woman's life. In Iowa, there lived a 74-year-old woman named Nancy. Her life was peaceful. A garden, a home, a dog, calls from her children. She wasn't seriously ill, just a little tired, a bit of high blood pressure, some anxiety. One fall, she caught a cold, cough, fever, weakness. She thought it would pass. She didn't call a doctor. 4 days later, she felt sharp chest pain. It turned out to be pneumonia. She was hospitalized. Oxygen, antibiotics, almost a month in a hospital bed. After discharge, fear, insomnia, memory loss. 3 months later, she was unrecognizable. She avoided people, lost interest in life. And it all started with one virus. A virus that in the past would have passed in 2 days. With age, everything changes. A small infection can become an avalanche. Why viruses are especially dangerous for the elderly? A slow immune response. The virus multiplies before the body reacts, damage tissues. Viruses attack lungs, vessels, brain, already weakened by age, chronic conditions. Diabetes, hypertension, arthritis create a background of inflammation. Side effects from medications. Some drugs suppress immunity, loneliness, delays in asking for help, ignored symptoms, low body temperature. Fever may be absent even with infection, which leads to confusion, weak muscles, makes it harder to cough and clear the lungs, increasing the risk of complications. What to do during virus season? Checklist: air out rooms, add humidity, Avoid overheating, move at least 20 minutes daily, sleep 7 hours or more, go to bed before 11 p.m., drink warm water, herbal teas, broths, support gut health, eat fermented foods like sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir. Rinse your nose with saline in the morning and evening. Limit time in crowded places and public transport. Change clothes and wash hands after coming home. Reduce stress. Practice breathing exercises. Connect with others. Keep your space organized, both outside and inside. This isn't hard, it's a habit. In 2-4 weeks, it will become automatic. And that's when you protect yourself. The weak immune system isn't aging. It's a learning many other people think, I get sick often because I'm old. But age isn't the reason. The real reason is depleted resources. The body is running at full capacity, but you're not helping it recover. You don't give it nutrition, rest, movement, or emotional support. So it breaks down. This isn't aging, it's exhaustion, and it's reversible. If you take action, even at 70, 80, or 90, you can strengthen your immune system, not instantly, but steadily. Immunity isn't just biology, it's a lifestyle. Why medications don't protect you from viruses. You can take vitamins, pills, even get vaccinated and still get sick. Because medication doesn't replace your lifestyle. It's support, not a foundation. If you don't move, eat poorly, avoid fresh air, and sleep badly, no pill will help. The immune system doesn't respond to commands, it responds to care. This is especially true for antibiotics. They don't work against viruses, but they destroy gut flora, your first line of defense. Taking antibiotics just in case is like destroying your fortress from within. For older adults, this is especially dangerous. After just one round of antibiotics, the immune system may take months to recover. Story: what saved an 85-year-old man in the state of Maine lived an elderly man named George. He was 85 and lived alone. Every year he came down with a respiratory infection, spent 10 to 12 days in bed and lost strength. His daughter bought him a humidifier, insisted on daily walks, and changed his diet: less sugar, more soups, vegetables, and fermented foods. At first, George resisted, but after 3 months, he noticed changes: more energy, easier breathing, better sleep. The winter passed, and he didn't get sick once. It wasn't a miracle, it was a system. Even small changes can drastically alter the outcome. Why you must notice the first symptom. Older adults often miss the early signs of illness. A scratchy throat, slight fatigue, runny nose, heaviness in the head, these are ignored. It'll pass, they think. But in the first few hours, the virus is most vulnerable. If you act fast, drink something warm, air out the room, go to bed early, rinse your nose, do an inhalation, you can stop it. But if you wait, the virus gains strength and complications begin. This is especially critical during peak seasons, October, November, February, March, or after contact with someone sick. The sooner you act, the better your chances of staying well. Myth: I rarely go out so I won't get sick. Yes, contact with people spreads infection, but staying home without ventilation, without movement, and with dry air creates ideal conditions for inflammation. Dry air, poor circulation, shallow breathing, these all weaken the immune system. That makes it easier for even a random virus to take hold. Illness can come from cold exposure, stress, or hidden internal infections. So it's not just about avoiding contact, it's about strengthening your environment. Home isn't protection if it weakens you from within. The strongest immune booster is your daily routine. No supplement can replace the basics. Wake up at the same time, eat on schedule, walk daily, go to bed before midnight, don't overload your stomach, don't watch distressing news before bed. The body runs on rhythm. Immune cells are most active at night, the gut repairs during sleep. Stress hormones drop toward evening. But if you go to bed at 2 a.m., eat chaotically, and live in disorder, your defenses collapse. Age makes the body fragile. Rhythm brings stability. For seniors, a clear daily routine is essential. It's like rails that keep the body on track. Why a cold isn't just a cold after 60. At 30, you could get sick and still go to work. At 70, a cold could lead to a heart attack. That's not an exaggeration. Infection causes inflammation, impairs blood flow, thickens blood. If your heart is weak, it can trigger disaster. And it's especially dangerous to stop treatment too soon. When the symptoms fade but weakness remains, it means the virus is still active. Recovery takes longer in older age. You can't return to normal life until your strength returns. Rest, even if it seems to be gone, because seems gone isn't healthy. Why old age is no reason to give up. Yes, you're not young. Yes, your strength isn't the same, but as long as you're alive, you can grow stronger. Every day is a chance to recover. Even 10 minutes of walking, one glass of warm water, one good thought, that's progress. Old age is not a disease, it's a stage, and it can be lived with protection, with attention, with care. Many only start caring for themselves when they get sick. But that's too late. The virus doesn't ask, it attacks. You don't have to be a hero. You just have to be ready. You may know everything about flu, infections, immunity, vitamins. But if you don't act, knowledge is useless. The virus isn't the worst enemy. The real danger is the habit of ignoring. Not now, later, no time, doesn't matter. This is what destroys health. Older people don't have the reserve that youth provides. Every day without prevention is a chance for illness. Every protected day is a step toward longevity. Don't wait until you feel bad. Start while you still feel okay. That is maturity, acting before it's too late. Story: one call that saved a life. An 87-year-old woman named Dolores lived alone. She had a bad cough and felt unwell but told no one. Thought it would pass. 2 days later, her neighbor called. Hearing her voice, the neighbor knew something was wrong and called an ambulance. Dolores had pneumonia. A few more days and it might have been too late. She survived. All thanks to one call. Connection is part of protection. Check on your elderly neighbors and ask others to check on you. When you're not alone, you are stronger. Why doctors warn, but don't save many rely on doctors. But a doctor is not a shield. He is the last resort. He can treat, but not restore what was already lost. And viruses act fast. In the first hours, when you're still on your feet but feel weak, that's when you decide to give the virus a chance or not. The doctor will come later. Prevention must happen now. Don't pass the responsibility. It's not medicine's job, it's your choice. Every day, every morning, every small act of self-care is an investment in your life. Why you shouldn't hide from reality. Many older people live by the don't think about it strategy. They turn off the news, avoid reading about viruses, skip health discussions, but ignoring the problem doesn't protect you. It only makes you vulnerable. A virus won't disappear just because you don't see it. It waits for the right moment. Being prepared is not fear, it's strength. When you know what to do, you feel calmer. But if you don't, you're at risk. Fear lives in uncertainty. Knowledge gives stability. So don't hide. Learn, act, strengthen yourself. Virus season is not a reason to panic, it's a reason to adjust. Fall and winter, it's the same every year. Cold, dampness, closed spaces, infections. You can't change the season, but you can change how you live during it. Turn virus season into a strengthening season. More soups, less sugar, more sleep, less TV. More fresh air, less heat indoors. More phone calls, less loneliness. More walking, less sitting. More laughter, less complaining. These are simple swaps, but they change everything. Don't look for magic remedies. Look for steady actions. That's the real magic. What being protected means in old age. It doesn't mean never getting sick. It means avoiding severe illness, reacting quickly to symptoms, keeping your strength, stopping inflammation, and building a strong base of health. Protection isn't armor. It's a living system. It breathes, reacts, renews, and the older you are, the more support it needs. Feeling weak is normal, but you don't have to be defenseless. Even with little energy, you can choose care, and care is always protection. What destroys immunity in daily life? Sugar weakens immune cells, sitting still blocks lymph flow, sleepless nights reduce protective hormones, constant frustration raises cortisol, loneliness increases stress, overheating dries the mucous membranes, too much cleanliness kills good bacteria, overeating weakens the gut barrier. All of this builds up, and one day it becomes the final straw. But you can stop it by changing your habits. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. Main rule: prepare in advance. The most common mistake is boosting immunity in the middle of an outbreak. But by then, it's too late. The immune system works with delay. It needs 2 to 3 weeks to build up defense, so you must act early. In September, start your routine. In October, improve your diet. In November, avoid cold exposure. If you start on time, you can get through winter safely. It doesn't require money, clinics, or pills, just your will, and you have it. Remind yourself, I want to live. That means I choose health. What to do right now? A simple plan. Start small. Drink warm water. Eat hot meals. Ventilate rooms. Move 15 minutes a day. Go to bed before midnight. Stay in touch. Rinse your hands. Don't overheat your hands. Remove sugar. Drink every food. Write a gratitude journal. Listen to music. Support your gut health. Go for walks. Each point is a brick. Together, they build a fortress. A virus will struggle to break into a place where the owner is alert. You are that owner. Illness is not punishment, it's a test. A virus doesn't choose victims, it finds weak spots. If you breathe shallow, sleep poorly, don't move, eat in a rush, stay angry, live alone, it enters. But if you care for yourself, it leaves. It finds no entry. Caring isn't blind self-love, it's standing with your health, being an ally to your body, being mature, wise, responsible. Then age works for you, not against you. You don't have to get sick. You can choose. Health, old age is not a sentence. It's a chance to slow down and build a new life system. Softer, more mindful, more caring. Strengthening is not a battle. It's a choice in favor of life. Viruses will come every season, but you can be ready. And when you're ready, fear fades, confidence comes. You don't fear tomorrow, because today you're doing what matters. And that means you are protected. Share your story in the comments. We would be happy to hear it and help you. Also, give this video a like and subscribe to Health Bloom 60+. Turn on notifications so you never miss simple health truths backed by science. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.